Hey everyone, welcome to Tactical Tuesday. Tonight's topic is no, it's not. We're not doing failures. We are doing get back over there. Get back. All right. No, what we're doing is we're talking about spend more, spend less. Investing in your preps. What are you going to do? And my co-host here is Bill Needs Quail. It's Ray at Batman Prepper.
I have my credit card. Let's charge.
Let's charge.
I even got my helmet on today.
All right, and I'm not sure if Bruce is going to make it up here or not, but I sent out to a few people to get up here and help them share their thoughts on this. But let's see who all's here first. Let's see. We got first one in the house was Howie from Food Forest Permaculture, and he had one word for us. First thing he said was freedom, and he's of course up there in Canada. And then Ray came in, made a comment.
Give me Quill or give me death.
Yep. And then Uncle Al popped in there saying hi to everyone. Then CR, also from north of the borders, and they're saying hi. The Kraken is here. And Lewis is here. Garden State Gardener. Everyone's talking there. Kalen Strain. CB, Huga Homestead. And that means fun in Danish. And see, they're talking back and forth, trying to catch up. See, Kraken's back in. Howie's there again. Come on, get out of there. Getting pop-ups on the side. People, other things going on. All right. So tonight, no slideshow tonight. That was just a because I didn't want to do one. I grabbed last week's and just threw it up there just as a little teaser there. And okay, got more notifications from YouTube on the side. So and so's going live. So and so's going live. Yeah, okay, everyone's going live, copying me now. All right.
That's why I go live so early in the morning.
Yeah.
Nobody else is.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, investing in your preps. That's one of the things that's probably the hardest point about prepping that all preppers face is how much am I going to invest? How fast am I going to invest? And what am I going to invest? Most new preppers and even people that have been prepping for a little while, hang on, I got something tangled up here, prepping for a little while, is that they're not sure what they should be buying and what they should be getting in. Now, one of the things I want to say about this goes back to an old TV show. One when I was a kid was I in junior high or was I still in elementary school? My mom used to watch, I think it was elementary school because I was only a couple of blocks from the school. I'd walk home and my mom would have it on there.
Careful, you're going to date yourself.
She had Jeff Smith, the Frugal Gourmet, on TV. And he'd make the comment, you can be a gourmet. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can be frugal, not cheap, frugal. And so frugal is getting your money's worth, not overpaying, not underpaying, getting cheap garbage, which is not going to do what you want it to do. You get your money's worth for your money's worth. You don't, overpay on stuff. And hey, Emma, how's it going? And one of the things that preppers, especially new preppers, get caught up in is some of the channels that says, oh, you got to have this. You got to have this stuff. This is the 30-year shelf-stable food stuff. That's what you got to get first. No, that's not what you got to get first. You don't need to spend a lot of money on the high-dollar freeze-dried package, backpacking food stuff meals that are good for 30 years. Granted, and I will admit this, I have a good supply of Mountain House. I love Mountain House. They have best stuff out there.
Some of that freeze-dried stuff is great, but it's not something you should start with. That
No.
is something that should be a filler later on during your prepping journey to fill in the blanks.
Mm-hmm. And so, back when we were thinking about all right, if we need to get out of here and we need to get out of Dodge quick at a drop of a hat, yeah, we bought a bunch of stuff, made a couple buckets and stuff, so we grab and go. And we could, we'd have a couple 5-gallon jugs that we grab, throw in the car too. We had water, we had some food, we had, several days worth of meals to get the heck out of here if we needed to. That's when I lived in California. And so we got that stuff, and it's good, and it's lasts forever. I mean, I actually was getting that stuff when I was going camping and hunting beforehand because I didn't want to pack a lot of stuff when I was going hunting. And so I had some light stuff. I had my water, and I was good. But when it comes down to investing in your preps, you got to be, you don't want to be penny wise, pound foolish. You want to be very frugal. You want to get your money's worth. You need to be smart about it. And some of the things that personally that I think people should be doing, the first thing they should be doing is doing an inventory of what they already have. People don't realize how much stuff they have in their kitchen cabinets. And, when they're just starting out, you don't want to invest heavily into water containers and stuff that you may not need right away because, for most stuff, it's the emergency is going to be short-lived. And water is not going to be the thing you're going to lose in most emergencies.
Well, of course, nowadays I see people more and more stocking up on bottled water anyways. I mean, yeah. I know you go to the grocery store, you're seeing people, and I'm sure some of your viewers are out there too, 5 or 6 cases of water. That's the very first thing that they put, and they put it underneath the little shopping cart. So water, don't worry about water yet. Maybe get like a bathtub bladder, just for emergency water. But that's it. Your water's taken care of for right now anyways.
Yeah, and worst comes to worst, I mean, if I want to worry about water storage, rather than spending $14 for a 5-gallon and I froze, I'm going to go to Ace Hardware or Home Depot or Lowe's and get a check valve and put it on my hot water heater, so that if the water in this system gets disrupted, it's not going to backflow out and drain out of my hot water heater, and I'm going to lose that 30 gallons, 40 gallons, 45 gallons, whatever size water heater you have. I'm not going to lose that water. You have that water. That's at a gallon a day of a 30-gallon hot water heater, a gallon. That's 30 days for one person, or 15 days for 2 people, or 10 days for 3 people of drinking water. So there's your first thing, and what you spend on a check valve is not as much as a 5-gallon jug is going to cost you generally. Of course, the way prices are jumping all over the place, different things, no telling what's going to happen on the check valves. But, you can get a check valve that has threads on it. You just thread, disconnect it, the feed line, right, hook it up in there, and you're done. And you got a check valve in there that's going to keep you from losing your water. Hey, Christy, how's it going? And Christy said, I'm going to throw that one up here. My first experience with hurricane, I filled up the old clawfoot tub water, and it all leaked out. And that's the thing is everyone think, I'll just fill up the bathtub. Well, that's good. You can use your stopper thing on the bathtub, but generally, I've noticed those always leak.
Yeah, it's going to leak out within several hours.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned the bathtub bladders. They actually have bladders that you can unpackage. It's a small little box. You unpackage it, you put it in your bathtub, you connect it to the spigot, fill it up. It will fill your bathtub completely full, but it's in that plastic bag now, so it's not going to leak out.
Yeah. And the thing is to remember, though, those are basically a use once item, because unless you have a way, once you get it all drained out, unless you have some way of holding it up so it all drains out and you can blow some fresh air in it to dry it out, you're not going to be able to use it again because it's going to keep water in there and it's going to mildew or whatever in there. But, what I found out on a lot of the bathtubs that leak out and stuff, there's something wrong with the built-in plunger system. You just go to Home Depot or Lowe's and you get the big old 4-inch flat, sort of like a stopper, but you just put it over the whole thing and
I've used those and I still notice that it does leak out. I mean, let's face it. Honestly, a bathtub is not meant for long-term holding of water. It's just designed there to keep that water in there maybe an hour, 2 hours.
The other thing to consider if you're starting out prepping, you want to know where to invest in. I would say the number one thing people need to invest in first is food, because your water's not going to go away unless there's a construction company working around and they got an idiot on the backhoe and he digs up the water line.
Well, that happens very often here in Phoenix. So
yeah, but in general, if it's a big disaster or whatever it is that's going on, that's going to cut the power and you're not going to be able to go to the store for a week or whatever it is that's causing that, it's not usually going to affect the water system immediately. Yes, the water treatment plant may not be able to produce, treat the water after their generator runs out of diesel fuel, whatever, if they can't get more. But generally, they treat their water, put it in a big tower, tank, whatever, up on a hill, whatever. So they have, 50,000 gallons, 100,000 gallon tanks up on the hill there, gravity feeding to everybody. So water is probably not your first concern. Your first concern is food.
Emma's poor cat.
This guy just catching on the thing there. Fell in. Oh, yeah, you got to be careful. Cats that love to jump into things. If you fill up the sink full of water, the bathtub, and they think they can hop in there. No, wait a minute, it's full. Yeah.
Get a little extra protein with your water.
Yeah.
Never hurt anybody.
Yeah. All right. Now, Kaylin does point out a problem here. Old water mains that break due to constant freeze thaw over and over time. Yes. And she says Des Moines has had 49 water pipes break since January 1st. And so, yeah.
Well, that's because, unfortunately, I know Iowegians, and I used to live next to Iowa, and they're not exactly, when it comes to engineering, they're not exactly cream of the crop over there in Iowa. Yeah. Sorry.
Or maybe it's just the politicians not hiring the cream of the crop to do their engineering project for them.
Either way, they're not the cream of the crop.
Yeah. All right. Like CB says, she has to prioritize. And that's what you got to do when it comes to your prepping, figuring out how you're going to invest in it. Food is probably the first thing you should invest in. Inventory what you have. Figure out what you have. How many meals can you make from what you have? Where you're short on to use up everything you have. Because if you have like too much rice and you don't have enough stuff to add to it, you're going to want to get some stuff to add to it. If you have a bunch of frozen hamburger, but you have nothing to do with it other than to make hamburger patties, you're going to get bored of hamburger patties. So you need to figure out, all the stuff that's going to take the basic ingredients and make a bigger meal out of it, a more interesting meal. Before we went live, Ray and I were talking about, he has a big bulk thing of the powdered cheese stuff and macaroni. So it's like he can make macaroni and cheese, but macaroni and cheese by itself gets boring by day 3.
Right.
And what all can you do to take macaroni and cheese and make it exciting? Put a can of chili in it. Dump some broccoli what's the tips called when they cut off the
Florets.
Florets. Put the broccoli florets in there and some chicken or some roast beef or whatever, and mix it up there. So you make like a casserole out of it. There's a lot of things you can do it. And Jay says bacon and mac and cheese. Yes, I did a mac and cheese using cream of bacon soup on for one of my things and for my food storage. And that's the things you need to think of. The other little things you can do to take the main staples you have and make it go farther.
So I started.
Okay, I got to throw Emma's comment up here. Just used white rice the other day that she stored in January of 21.
Yep. In an old soda bottle, and it's perfectly fine. Yeah. You guys don't realize they have found grains in Egypt that are back in the pyramid days when they were building the pyramids, and that grain was still edible when they found it.
Mm-hmm.
Grains do last a long, long, long time.
Yeah. Yeah, and meal planning is probably, once you do your inventory, is the next thing you need to do. Start planning out meals. And for beginner preppers, I tell them, do a 1 month meal plan. Plan out meals. Try not to repeat the same meal more than twice in a week for dinner, no more than 3 times in the week for lunch, and no more than 4 times in the week for breakfast. Because some people eat oatmeal every day, and they love it for breakfast. Others have oatmeal or frosted flakes. There's different things. People repeat breakfast a lot, but you don't want to repeat it constantly. You want to be able to mix it up a little bit at least. And Albany Mountain Homestead and browned hamburger and mac and cheese. Yeah, it is. It's really good, especially. And my wife would smack me in the back of the head for this one here. If you use something other than the 90% fat-free I like to get, you do something like the 80% fat-free or whatever, where you get some juices there in the pan after you fry up the hamburger and stuff, and you can add, and that way you got a little more flavor when you mix it and the mac and cheese together. It gives the whole thing a different taste when you have some of that. The other thing to do is you'd say just use some better than bouillon, scoop it out, plop it in there, and mix it up, and you get the flavor to it as well.
When I first started, I started with 1 week. I wanted 1 week of meals set aside. And then I kind of stopped for a while and I let it set. And then I moved into the 30 day, like you said, the 30 days. And I actually sat down and started planning different meals that way, so that I know I'm only going to have that meal once a week. So now I buy 4 of these things, so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And now I got a pretty good selection now.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I mean, I got a full shopping cart here. I found a picture of a full shopping cart, just to show you don't have to go out and buy everything at once. That's being pound foolish. And one of the things that I recommend people it's the way I was raised. My mom was born in 1922, so she just turned 7 when the Great Depression started. So she was a child of the Depression. She learned to get by on pennies and stuff. And one of the things that she grew up teaching me and my brothers was, all right, here's the ad came out today. Let's go to see what's on sale. Here's last week's ad and the weeks before its ad, and we compare prices to see if things are being really going on sale or whether they're saying sale. They raised the price last week up 15 cents, and this week they lowered it 10 cents and say it's on sale. Well, that's some of the things she would look for and see what was really on sale. And she had a little notebook and she tracked the prices of the basic stuff we got all the time. And then when the coupons came out, we were clipping coupons back then when you had to turn the coupon in. They just didn't barcode scan it. And so what we learned is, when something's on sale, we bought extra of it and just stored it. And the next week we bought back extra of something else that was on sale. So after several weeks, we had a lot of stuff that we got on sale in the pantry cupboards, and we had more food there than what we than just to last a week. So she was always buying extra to stretch on when it was on sale to stretch our money out.
One thing it took me a while to learn, and it probably will take a lot of people a while to learn, is you don't always have to buy name brand. Okay. The store brand is made by the same company that makes the name brand. It's the same exact thing. I mean, there are some things out there that I won't touch with Gill's mouth. Okay. They're that bad generic.
Yeah.
But you guys understand that not everything is, you have to have name brand items. You can make some delicious meals with some off brand and save some money for later. Remember, when you're first starting out, the idea is to survive. Get enough to survive. And then if you want to go to the name brands, you can go to the name brands.
Yeah. Just keeping up on the chat here. One of the things that along that line is I'm going to pick on a name brand, Kraft, or as my boys call it, crap, macaroni and cheese. They have become very picky on the macaroni and cheese they've tried all the generic ones, and they've settled on what the select. I can't think of the whole name of it now. They get it there in California. It's the generic one for Albertsons, and they prefer it way over Kraft macaroni and cheese. I've never liked Kraft macaroni and cheese. It was just something weird about the taste of it. And some of these other ones taste much better. And it's a lot cheaper, even when Kraft is on sale. The store, and then of course in the store brand one, the select goes on sale with the 10 is it a get buy 10 for $10 type thing, or whatever it is they do on it. Of course, back in the time, it used to be 10 for $5, and that's how old I am.
Kaylin, Annie's brand is one that I won't touch with Gill's mouth. I've had it. I don't like it. No, not for me, but it might be for somebody else.
Yeah. Now, Annie's brand, we get Annie's brand for Scout Camp for the ones that had that were on the for their diet. The Annie's has a good
Annie's frozen.
A good crap. I can't even think of your word. The wheat allergy one. The gluten. They had the gluten-free one, which some of the and we checked the parents. Yeah, they like the Annie's gluten-free macaroni and cheese. So that's what we get for the ones at Scout Camp that couldn't eat gluten when we were doing the mac and cheese at Scout Camp. Now, along the same lines, to think frugally on this, we used to get the cheesy enchilada hamburger helper by the case, it seemed, and with my two boys, my wife and I, and the boys just absolutely devoured it. We wound up fixing 2 boxes of it. And then my wife decided, well, she needed to stretch that out because, the cost of, when it wasn't on sale, it got expensive. And so she was add extra rice to it and other seasonings to it. Finally, she just figured out she can make it taste something that tastes almost exactly the same of it that the boys really liked from scratch. And it cost a quarter of what we were paying for a hamburger helper at the store. Just that she had to have, had a jar. She made up the mix of the seasoning for it, put it in there, roll it on the side, 2 tablespoons to 3 cups of rice.
You hit a very big point right there. Learn to make from scratch. People that I see packing away pancake mix. I get so angry with them. Pancakes are the easiest things for you to build from scratch using your preps. And you're going to save so much. Yeah. And pancakes, they're great for Brinner, or what me and my ex-wife used to call Brinner, breakfast for dinner. I'm watching Gil
I'm just catching on something on the side chat there.
Yes, Emma, pancakes and drop biscuits, things like that, they're so easy to make from scratch that and I'm going to be doing a series here real soon with a lot of mixes that you can make up and save for later, like my cornbread mix. Yeah. Because I'm from the Midwest and corn fed, and I do love my cornbread.
Yeah. Now I will say, because my oldest son has Asperger's, and he's very picky on what he eats. For quite a while, I mean, it was like he wanted waffles all the time, and he went through. And when my wife would get Bisquick, because she was doing it for more than just making waffles and pancakes, for making other things with it, because it was easy, quick. Both of us were working, so she'd get that, and he was killing off the boxes. And finally, we had another chest freezer, and we went to Costco and got the Kirkland brand, not the Eggo, the Kirkland brand frozen waffles, and he loved those. And so we were getting those, and then he started just popping in the toaster and stuff, quick and easy for him. He didn't make as big a mess in the kitchen, mixing everything up and everything.
Yeah.
But then after a while, when they started getting the Bisquick in the bigger boxes, and then the Krusties in the big bag and stuff, she started getting that where it's just add water, and he's not having to add the egg and everything else to it and everything else. So she started getting that, and and it was, of course, it's going to be cheaper than the frozen waffles from Costco. And since it's easier for him to mix up, and he'll go in there and he'll mix up like a quadruple batch of batter, and he'll spend 45 minutes in there just cooking waffles and pancakes, and then he takes them, puts them in the gallon Ziploc bag, and freezes them.
I've done that, yeah.
And so he makes his own frozen waffles and pancakes and stuff. But it's if they move up here with us, and when my wife retires, and he moves up here with us, yeah, he's going to learn how to make from scratch the pancake mix. Of course, the kitchen here in Idaho is over twice as wide as the kitchen in California.
One we hit on before when we were talking about buying in bulk. One thing I always recommend is perishable items that can be in a powder form. Your milk, your eggs, buy those in the powdered forms, and buy them in bulk. That's one of the primary things that you're going to need anytime you're making anything, is usually milk, eggs, and there's some people that agree with canning their own butter or buying canned butter. I prefer canning butter myself, but there are things that you look at what you're going to need and get those things, break things down to the most basic, is what I'm trying to say, and get those things where you can store for long term.
Again, I'm just keeping up on the side chat there, some of the comments. There's a separate conversation going in the side chat about somebody's freezer being down.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so, Kaylin says, same with powdered cheese. You can get good deals on the powdered cheese, the bulk powdered cheese.
Okay, matter of fact, let me pull up and I'll tell you here in just a moment what I paid for my canned cheese or my cheese powder.
Yeah. Hey, Alicia, how's it going? And anybody else I missed? Oh, there, Kathy came in here. Hey, Kathy. So while he's pulling that up, one of the things to consider also that that people don't get in bulk, and my wife is getting to the point. Well, she doesn't want to have to get the big bag and repackage the baking powder and baking soda, and so she's she'll get, when they're on sale, get the smaller medium-sized cans, get several of those, and keep those in a cool, dry place where it lasts longer. Or she'll actually put it in a Ziploc bag, suck all the air out of it, and toss it in the freezer.
So I'm not going to talk bad about Augustin Farms. I do love a lot of their products, but let me give you an idea. Augustin Farm, for a can of okay, phone. For a can of Augustin Farms whole egg powder, which is about 3 pounds, is what, around $30 or $40 last time I checked, when they actually have it. I bought 5 pounds. Yeah, it's a little expensive. It's $71.29 for 5 pounds of whole egg. But 5 pounds of whole egg is a whole lot of eggs. Buttermilk powder. I use that when I make my pancakes and even my macaroni and cheese and other things. My cornbread. 5 pounds, $25.59. That's 5 pounds of buttermilk powder. That's a lot of buttermilk. Cheddar cheese sauce. 5 pounds, $31.48. You see, there's a whole lot of savings right there because I can do so much with those 3 items with my basic pantry that it's not even funny.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just catching up on some things I was chatting. Now I just brought something up here on the side here. Let me go ahead and reshare. I just had an email pop in here, so I'm going to share it. Share screen. Okay, so this is an email I get from Emergency Essentials. It's beprepared.com. And, dinner! Any day, no waiting. This is their freeze-dried stuff. But the problem is, this stuff lasts 30 years or longer. But the problem is, it's not frugal.
It really isn't.
It really isn't frugal.
I mean, those diced potatoes that's on the screen right now, you can go to Costco and get a better deal. You could go to Winco and get a better deal.
Yeah. But and if you're really thinking about getting heavy into food prep yourself, and you don't want to do canning, you want stuff that'll sit on the shelves a lot longer. Yeah, you can get a freeze dryer, or find a friend that has a freeze dryer, and you don't want to borrow and lug it around because they are a little bit heavy and stuff. But work with them out a deal to use theirs, and you can do freeze-dried mashed potatoes. You can do freeze-dried beef chunks or ground beef or whatever. And
that's something I actually wanted to bring up on your other video.
Yeah.
The side hustle.
Yeah.
You can rent out a freeze dryer and make some money.
Yeah. And so some of the stuff you can do, you can freeze dry it yourself, put it in a seal a meal or a vacuum sealed Mylar bag or whatever you want to do with it. And you can also get, some of these companies say they when they put the product in the can, they have nitrogen, and they displace all the oxygen with nitrogen. Of course, they have the nitrogen in the big, huge tanks, so it's cost effective for them. But you can do stuff like that. Now, Albany Mountain says you can also boil and then dehydrate the potatoes. So you cook them and dehydrate them.
Yeah. Kathy B Ghee tastes different than butter does. Ghee is more of a nuttier flavor to it.
Yeah.
Some people like it. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah. And if you're using it in baking and stuff, it's okay. I've heard people I've never tasted it myself, but I've heard people talking about it, and they say, yeah, you use it in baking. You don't use it for spreading on your bread. So I can go ahead and going back to the
HH, you are 100% correct. I'll occasionally buy those things from like Augustin Farms or those other Mountain House, and I'll eat them just so that I can try them to see if it's something that I want to keep for later.
Yeah. All right. Number 10 can of salt is a preservative. Never buy salt from those long-term storage stores.
Now, go buy yourself a bag of it and repackage it into smaller bags. Yeah. Salt is going to last forever.
Yeah. Now, I will say my parents did buy 6 cans because that's what came in a case of it, but they bought it for the purpose of it's not going to, the can is not easily damaged by something poking it, and they kept it in its cardboard box case, and that way they had it in the storage, and they know, so they knew it was there, and they know salt doesn't go bad, so they had the salt, they put it there, and I still have those 6 cans. They've never been opened. And we will have them, and my grandkids will probably have those 6 cans until the cans deteriorate away and they got to take the salt out of it.
I wish that the LDS still rented out their canners. Unfortunately, with the government got cracked down on them, but LDS used to have, and you don't have to be a member of the LDS church, by the way. If you want to prep, they're a great source for certain things in cans, like their carrots and spaghetti bites. You don't have to be a member of the church to buy from them. And before, they used to allow you to either bring your stuff in or borrow their canner and do the whole canning yourself.
Okay. All right. I'm just starting to just catch up on stuff here.
I just saw roast beef chunks and I'm hungry.
Yeah. All right. CB says ghee is not smooth, so it doesn't spread on like this. Because the fat removes. So yeah. So ghee is something for basically, as far as my understanding is used for cooking, not
primarily cooking and baking.
Yeah.
Some people do like the taste and will spread it on their toast. To me, ghee has too much of a nutty flavor, so it's not one that I like to have.
Okay. All right. Trying to get back on track, cover everything we covered here mentally here. All right. So, once, like Ray said, he did a week, then he did a month, then you work in your second month, and you can basically repeat the first month's menu, but when you get to the third month, change it up some more. You want to start changing it up with a little bit different things, because even 30 dinners, even if you have completely different dinners, 30 of them, after a while gets a little too repetitive for some of them. And there's a lot of little things you make up. You don't have to have the same thing all the time. We got enough stuff here to do cream chip beef on toast, but we only have it probably once every 2-3 months. But it's something just to break up what we normally have. We have a lot of rice dishes and stuff we do. Probably at least 15 different rice flavored things that my wife has gotten the seasonings for the rice just to do different flavored rice as a side dish. So you have one flavor you serve with ham or steak or whatever, and the next time you have the steak, you serve a different flavored one with it. Changes up the whole meal, basically. Gives the whole thing a different flavor. Hey, Always Survive, how's it going? One of the things too that this is going to get laughs and a little bit of cringes probably from some people in the side chat is once you're working on your third month worth of menus and stuff, don't forget to add other things in that that's not food into your preps. Don't forget toilet paper. Or other things that you use all the time. Some people do not want to go back to the family cloth, except in actual emergency, end of the world type emergencies. The other thing is, some people like the convenience of being able to have paper plates when they don't, for kids taking stuff and they want to go eat outside. Paper plates, put their sandwiches on it, go outside, kids, have fun.
Hey, being single and living in an apartment, paper plates and plastic silver, those are my friends. That makes cleanup so much easier.
Yeah. Hey, heirloom permaculture, yes, and they got a very good point here. Don't forget to rotate your medical preps. Now, on medical preps, there is a book I recommend to everybody. I got the soft copy on my Kindle. Actually, when I bought the soft copy on my Kindle, I was able to share it to my wife's Kindle, both my boys' Kindles, and I have two older backup Kindles. So I just back stuff up onto it. And that is the book by Doc Bones and Nurse Amy, Joe Alton and Amy Alton. I'll see if I can bring it up here for you real quick. Over here in Amazon, because I got it I keep it in the wish list here just to show everybody when it's time. And I go down to health, open it up there, scroll on down to it.
While he's looking for that, with medical preps, you need to also understand that there's some things that you can't get unless you have a prescription. However, you can get if it's veterinary, such as I have an ample supply of fish mox, which is amoxicillin for fish. I have also
and actually on that fish mox, it's made in the same factory that makes it for humans. All they do is put a different label on it. It's the exact same stuff.
The only thing I do different if I use it, and I have used it, is I do not use the gel caps. I will remove the gel caps from it, so it's a straight powdered form.
Yeah.
But that's about the only thing I want to do different, because like Gil says, it is the exact same thing. And I'd much rather have that than nothing at all.
Okay. All right. Christy has a point here, and I want to get to it in a second. All right. This book here about the fish mox and stuff, they talk about all the different types. The powdered antibiotics and stuff last a lot longer. The amoxicillin powdered stuff, they found that the stuff that the military is using after 20 years they've tested it, is still as strong and as good as the day it was manufactured. So they just updated this. This book just got updated about 3 months ago. So it has, because they've made some change. Actual fish mox is no longer allowed to be bought. They have to have a veterinary prescription for it now, because everyone was buying it for themselves, and they go, oh, wait a minute, this is the same stuff, and the FDA got sideways on it. There are some other ones which they haven't cracked down on. That's listed in the book here.
I just ordered a shipment of fish mox with no problem.
Oh, well, did you get inside the U.S. or outside?
I'm inside the U.S. And
no, I mean, you order from Canada or Mexico?
No, they were from here in the U.S.
Okay, because they were talking about it. There was a big crackdown on it, and so There's, now was it actually called Fish Mox, or was it a different name?
No, it was from Chewy, actually.
Okay. Yeah, they may not have gotten the memo yet. Lucky.
Right?
That's just it. You may have gotten it, but they haven't gotten the memo yet. But the FDA or the whichever one is in charge of that stuff is cracking down on it.
HH said something I want to hit on real quick, not to change the subject. Making your own laundry soap is great, but and Fells Napta or that other soap, and I have it in the other room. I forgot what it's called, but that's great. But there's some other things that you need to add to it, and they're not all these sites that show you how to make it are not adding one important ingredient, and it's lipitin or something like that. It's basically soda nuts, or not soda, laundry nuts. It's a chemical in there that you need to add to it in order to make it proper. Otherwise, after a while, you're going to lose the water absorption ability of towels and whatnot because of soap scum buildup. Mm-hmm. You actually do need a detergent, not just soap, but a detergent, which is different.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And just for reference, Hugo Homestead is CB.
CB? Okay.
CB. Yeah.
HH is easy for me.
Yeah.
I'm simple-minded, damn it.
Okay. We'll see. We all knew when her handle was CB. So, and I'm just catching up here. Yeah, and Albany has it right. See, most vet meds were human first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of they say, it's still like for the fish and stuff, rather than try to dilute it for the size of the fish. Hey, wait a minute, the fish is in a big tank of water. That's going to dilute it. That's why it's the exact same, capsules, pills, whatever that they give for humans. So, all right. And CR is backing you up on the soap nuts.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the chemical, and eventually I will be doing a video of how to properly make your own laundry soap.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit further in the future.
Yeah, Christy, that's right. They have, after a while, some of them changed the formulation, and that's some of the information that Doc Bones and Nurse Amy kept up in the book here. All right. Mary Beth, it also may be partly due to the harder the water, the more it removes soap out of the water, out of it, from the clothing and stuff as well. So you have really hard water, it acts differently than soft water does. Because I know with softened water, trying to get the soap out of my hair, I use like 3 times as much water trying to get that slimy soap feeling out of my hair. All right. The other thing to remember too is aspirin does have a shelf life. But then several of the channels have talked about which bark is it? There's a bark. Is it willow bark? That is the chemical for aspirin cut. You can find it in the bark of a tree, and I think it's willow bark. Please correct me. I'm having a brain fart here, folks. I'm not sure if it's willow or aspen. So that's one of the things too. If you're in a situation, you can get the same chemical reaction for the pain relief from the bark of certain trees.
Willow, you are absolutely right.
Okay.
It is willow bark.
Good. All right.
So go find a willow tree, slice off a piece of bark, and start chewing away.
Hey, you're not too far off. There are your medical things. The powders and dry medicines last longer than liquid caps and the liquid stuff and everything else. even some of the dry ones like aspirin and stuff has a chemical degradation to it, and actually aspirin can become toxic when it gets too old.
But I
Christy,
bet you had some
I know
hair.
more than a few guys would have been chasing you around if your hair smelled like mayo.
I'll only chase you if it smells like Miracle Whip. That's my favorite. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And no, Miracle Whip is not mayonnaise.
And I'm trying to think. All right. For tooth, I'm having a brain. I got the book here. I can go to the book. The big thick book on it. For toothaches.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
But you got to be careful on it because it can erode the enamel off. Clove oil, yes, thank you. Clove oil, you can't do it. You don't want to do too much of it because it will. It eats away the enamel off the tooth, but it does, kill toothache and work on canker sores and stuff like that.
I don't have to worry about the enamel on my teeth. The soda's already eaten all that away.
I'm sorry, Mary Beth just came up took the mail to the ultimate.
You rub that bacon behind your ears, you're going to pick up every stray guy in the town.
So Emma says she dilutes I think you're talking about the clove oil into some coconut oil and use it that way.
Yeah.
All right. So there, learning is another thing to do. If you're for your preps and stuff, for books, knowledge. If you can figure out things to do from books and stuff that will help you save money, you may spend, $30 for this book, but if it saves you $300 by learning how to use all the herbs and stuff and medical remedies and stuff, your money ahead right there.
You know what? You don't even have to buy the books. You have a wonderful resource in every major city in America, the public library. Yeah. You can get books, the same books, just borrow them, read them, take notes.
Yeah.
Or if you want to and do it kind of illegal, you can scan every page using your scanner, and there you have a copy of the book.
I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't going to go there, but yeah. And hey, I bet you can actually find a lot of these where people have scanned them already and uploaded it to Google Docs, to the Google Docs library. You can find stuff on there.
One prep I see people not prepping, and I think they're an idiot for not prepping. Whether you drink or not, alcohol, basic vodka, the cheapest vodka you can find, you're going to use that when if you end up making your own medicines, because that the alcohol is the most natural way of stripping out the things that you want from the plants and herbs.
Yeah, Mary Beth. Antifroze, the Broussards, and Stringfield Ridge. I've been talking about, and the Kathy at North Star Prepsteader. She did a bunch of last year. She was doing a bunch of stuff on the herbs and stuff, what the different ones are, and they were talking about the toothache plant. That's something else too. Examples on Kathy North Star Prepsteader. Go back last year. Every Monday night, she did a thing on a different herb and talked all about it. She was reading from the book online, from all the stuff about it, what it's good for, how you can use it and stuff. You can download videos for free, and you just got to get yourself a drive, and you can just put it on there and store it. When it comes to alcohol, yeah, Emma has the other one on there. Everclear, 90% alcohol. It's just like rubbing alcohol, only you can drink it.
Do not drink rubbing alcohol, though, please.
Yeah, do not drink rubbing alcohol.
You will have the tummy quivers like you have never had the tummy quivers in your life.
Yeah.
Now, I know Gil won't touch it, but this is also a future video of mine coming out. I will show you how to properly distill your own for educational purposes only. I'm not telling you to go out there in the woods and make a still or anything, but
yeah,
I'm going to show you how.
Courtney at White Family Farm, they got two of the countertop stills.
Yes, that's
for making the alcohol for the I keep pronouncing it right.
Tinctures.
Yeah, tinctures. Yes. But
there are proper steps that you do have to take, people, and we will go over those in that video.
Anthony at Pimento Prepared has made several types of tinctures, and he shows how to do it using the vodka. All right. Other points. Helping spend more, spend less. Buying in bulk, breaking it down, like Ray said. You can save a lot of money there. Clothing. We've set aside a fair amount of clothing that is not thin shirts like I'm wearing now. It's the heavy duty, all cotton shirts, the denim pants, like the fire hose material from Duluth Trading. Yes, those are expensive, but they last friggin' forever. And because if you're out there having to dig a garden and work in the garden and stuff and everything, because everything's collapsed, you don't want your pants, you don't want to take your polyester pants out there and have them, wear out and tear holes in them the first day.
Well, I'm more than happy just to wear a loincloth and that be it. So just a visual, a fat man prepper in a loincloth. Okay, there's your visual image for the night.
That goes right along with Gardner Josh and him and his spandex.
Oh no!
What's it? The yoga pants, pulling them up.
Spandex is a privilege, not a right. Okay.
Oh, okay. Albany Mountain Homestead. All right, Albany. Shoot. Okay, you're not a mod here, and I don't have the right one set up for that. You might be able to post her YouTube channel in here. They may let you post her YouTube channel if you can. All righty. Let's see what else here. All right, clothing, medicine, food, water. If you want to store water and you feel you need to have it, food grade 55-gallon barrels are running almost $1 a gallon now. The 3-gallon water bricks are ridiculously expensive, but if you're in an apartment or you have limited space and you need to stack those up, that's one way to go. I talked about water barrels and stuff. If you have a decent sized garage and it doesn't freeze in that garage, you can find food grade IBC totes. And sometimes you can actually find it where basically they take the cage, they pulled the plastic tote out of it, the plastic liner out because it started to leak, put a new liner in it, and you can pick it up a lot cheaper than buying a brand new one, even though the liner is brand new food grade. Let me see if I can bring this up here.
Gil, in private chat, I threw Amy's YouTube channel.
Okay, see if I can copy that. Amy Farrell, and come back to the regular comments.
And yes, I know I misspelled her name.
Okay, so the name's misspelled, but this is the one that Albany Mountain was talking about. And so, thank you. And IBC totes for sale. And okay, so I'm going to bring up this again, the screen here. All right, reconditioned ones. Some of these were basically all they did is they replaced the plastic tank inside the cage. And there are different ones here. Drinking water, rainwater. Okay, $62 by Bluk TV. So you can check them out, do a little more research on it. That is the tall, big one. I got one of those from, that it's actually all blue. I got one of those. 55-gallon barrel, $77, over $1 per gallon. So you figure, all right, so that's over $1 per gallon. This is 300 gallons for, $68. This is 275 gallons for 200. That's less than $1 per gallon there. This is way more than $1 per gallon.
And remember, these are brand new prices too. You can go to Craigslist and find local sellers.
Yeah, Craigslist though, there's no way to know exactly what was in that IBC tote if you want water in it, drinking water.
It depends on your seller.
Yeah. But some of these are like, for where they put a new tank inside the cage, and you just got to worry about shipping. Oh, free shipping, no tax.
That's not a bad price. If that's for 330 gallons, that's a smoking deal.
Yeah, that is a killer deal. Yeah, and so you got the different ones here. The two size tanks are 330 gallon or 275. That's the way they come. They have the same footprint. It's just that the 330 is taller. It's got, it's one cage width taller there. So
now, Gil, you know more about the IBC totes than I do. When they're full, are they stackable being full?
Too high.
Is it too high? Okay.
Too high. You don't want to go. You don't want to go more than that, depending on the quality of the cage. Some cages you can go 3 high, but you need to research your cage. Especially now, if you have it, if you have a garage that has plywood on the walls, whatever, you're having it stacked up against the wall and stuff, you can actually put some lag bolts into the studs and put a tie strap on there and ratchet it back so you get extra strength on it. And that keeps it from wiggling, and which does cause some failure. If it wiggles around, it can twist the bottom cage a little bit and go. But yeah, if you don't want to generally, if you're loose stacking them, you don't want to go more than 2 high. When they ship them dry, they'll stack them 3, 4 high on the trucks. But when they're full, you don't want to go more than 2 high. Now, problem is when they're too high, you can't get to that fill point on it. The lid here on the top, that red lid showing right there, you can see my cursor moving. It's kind of hard to refill it. There are ways because of the gap underneath them. If you get in there and you plumb around, and you get stuff set up, you put them up there all dry and everything, get it all plumbed together and everything set up, you can go from one to the other and run the water through the top one and the bottom one and not have to worry about it. But they do have the let me see if I can get a big picture up here on them, blow one of them up here. They have the valves out there. Most of the valves have 2-inch pipe thread on them and cam lock. So there's hook them up different ways. But there is space between them below it, several inches, because they put the forklifts in there to pick them up and move them around. You can I can pick one of these up over my head empty, dry. I can pick it up to stack it. I can do it. Too high is if you're in a garage, too high is about as high as you want to stack it anyways. But yeah. So yeah, it all depends on your situation. Let me look at something else up here while I'm going. If you're in an apartment, obviously you can't get an IBC tote into your apartment. That's where the water bricks come in, the stackable water bricks.
I was going to mention those.
Yeah. So there are, they stack different ways. They also make ones that stack with the water bricks. The water bricks are the blue ones. These ends pop off so you can store stuff in there. So you can Mylar bag your pre-made meals, like, you're going to pull it out, open it, you're ready to go. You have it all pre-made and measured, and you can store those in with your water where in the closet you got your water at. But the prices on these, these are not.
These are expensive. These are definitely a premium item.
Yeah, and so let's go shopping. 10 of them, $180. It doesn't say how many they got there, but individually, you're looking at $15 for one of them. Sam's Club, that's not just for one. That's got to be a lot more, not a lot more than just one for 172. I'm not sure how many comes in that, but yeah, you got to you look at them and check to see how many they're actually selling. 4-pack, 3.5 gallons. So you got to check around. Don't buy the first one you see. So, but basically, looks here, some of them, the cheap prices are about $15 each, $17, $18 each for single ones. And then, of course, they got the 5-gallon cans as well, which you can still use in there,
The one thing that's nice about those is with enough of them, if you're in an apartment or even a house with a open floor plan, they can make wonderful walls.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna drop over this one here real quick, open it up in a second one, just to see. I'm curious about this 5 gallons stackable, $114. How many are you getting?
4
of them. Yeah, 4 counts. So
you got to be careful with Amazon.
Yeah, so it's a 4 count. So you're paying $20.
That's 80 gallons total.
You're paying $28 or so each, about. But you can also I picked these up, 5-gallon ones up here at the Broham's grocery store, $7 each or $8 each. When
they're advertising it at 20 gallons each.
Well, 20 gallons. That's a 4-pack.
And 4 of those, that's 80 gallons.
I just make sure it says, yeah. So this is so this is 80 gallons but it says 5-gallon stackable. So basically, you get 4 at 5 gallons.
I see how they're. That's you got to be careful with Amazon, because I would have thought 20 gallons right away.
Yeah, you got to look. You got to look at the rest of the stuff there on it too. Yeah. So, and these you got to be careful how high you stack these as well. You got to look at the fine print, even if they put it in here, how high you can stack it. So, yeah. So apartments, water bricks is one way you can do it in apartments. Now, a lot of people say they can fit them under beds, so you fill them up and slide it under the bed. The problem is, don't forget. All right, 3.5 gallons, right? So let me bring it up here. 3.5 times 8.8 equals 30.8 pounds for each one of those. You put 10 under your bed, that's another 300 pounds under your bed. You put 20 under there, you're at 600 pounds under your bed. That
Make sure you're on the ground floor.
Yeah. If you're not on the ground floor, you soon will be. So that's something else you got to watch out for on that. Now, depending on the catchment system, the thing is, so if you're catching like rainwater and stuff, pros, remember the first rain, don't store the water or have a diverter valve coming off your downspouts and stuff. If you want to use the first rain, you can store that for garden use. After the roof has been washed clean, then you can store it for your use, but you still got to filter it, run it through a good filter like the Zen water filter system, so that your roof is still going to pick up impurities on it. If you have asphalt shingle roof on it, it still is going to, every rain, it's going to be some of the gravel and the asphalt shingles comes loose. Some of the petroleum product of the asphalt shingles comes loose.
You're definitely going to want to filter it, or better yet, distill it if you're able to.
Yeah. The terracotta tile or the imitation metal shingles, basically they look like slate shingles, but they're the 50-year warranty metal shingles that are, with the powder coat painting on them and stuff. Those are a lot better. Problem of distilling the water coming off a roof, the water will evaporate. So will the petroleum chemicals will evaporate with it. That's the only problem with distill. You got to have a good filtration system for that. But hey, it still works for washing your clothes, flushing your toilet, so you're not using drinking water for that. So there are other things you can use, quote, light gray water for that, for stuff like that. And you could probably, if it's you could probably get away with showering with it too.
You could also look into, even if you're a homeowner, I don't know what that commie state to the east of me says, but for the most part, even in a residential area, you can drill your own well in the backyard.
Yeah, I know Nevada drilling wells anywhere in the state has to approve it because they claim it's all underground water because it's such a dry state. They don't want anybody tapping into the aquifer and pumping it dry.
Well, me moving to Alaska, that's the first thing I looked into, especially with my property being undeveloped and no utilities in sight.
All right. Let me think here. Anything else?
Creative, absolutely. Filter the water, but even after filtering it, I would tend to distill it because I know that the distillation process, it's going to bring the water to a 99.999% pure water.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, Christy, so that, the water you pull off your metal roofs and stuff should be really good for the animals. After all, hey, animals drink out of streams a lot more than people do.
My dog drinks out of my toilet more often.
All right, B Charming wants to know where you're going in Alaska, though, Ray. The name has her confused. The name has her confused.
I am going to be basically right dab in the middle of Alaska. I'm about, I measured it. It's about 20 miles from what's considered the Arctic Circle, which is also about 3 to 4 hours east. Let's see. No.
There, I fixed your name so we won't get confused now.
I prefer Gil needs Quill, but I'm west of 3 to 4 hours west of Fairbanks and about 2 or 3 hours east of Manly Hot Springs, Alaska.
Ooh, Manly Hot Springs. Is there a girling hot springs up there too?
I wish.
All right. One of the other things here, trying to think here, make sure I cover everything else. You got to make sure you budget is probably, once you start doing your preps, budget. All right, night, Emma. The one thing on budgets to consider is you need to keep your budget updated all the time, because as things change and everything else, as your situation changes.
Reevaluate every 3 months.
Yeah, my wife is an accountant. That was not the reason I married her, but that's one of the big reasons I'm thankful I did marry her. She refinanced our house about 2 years after we got married in California, and we had it paid off in less than 15 years after that. And she refinanced it with found a rate and everything where the monthly payment went up only $58. So she found a lower interest rate than what I bought it at. That was so low that the price being only a 15-year loan instead of a 30-year loan went and only went up by $58 a month. So
look at what you have and what you can get rid of.
Yeah.
I mean, I had Cox internet and cable. I don't watch cable TV maybe once a month. Okay. So I really didn't need the cable. Then I looked at my internet and I'm like, I just switched cell phone providers where I have unlimited data and hotspot. And that brought my bill down from $100 a month to $40 a month for internet. So now I've got an extra $60 for my preps per month.
Yeah. One of the things, I am not a financial advisor, but I'm just going to tell you what we did. And I'm going to tell you what several other people have done. When we bought the first property up here in Idaho in 2016, it was $135,000 for the whole property. It's halfway paid off already. All right. So we're looking at 5 years and 3 months from when we bought it. And it's already paid halfway. That's my wife and how she does it. One of the first things she started doing was paying off extra on it, because if you ever break down see a breakdown of a mortgage loan, it's like a graph cut in half. This starting here going this way, this is the interest you're paying, and this is the principal. And as it moves along, you start paying less interest and more principal. Well, she started paying extra principal on it, so it shoved it way over really fast.
Yeah.
And so, hey, PT, how's it going? And so on your budgeting, paying off big ticket interest items, extra payments per month helps out a lot. Our credit card does not go totally unpaid every month. She pays everything on it off. We are paying 0 interest rate on our credit card. And it's an Amazon card, so I get Amazon points for everything I buy at the gas station, Costco, Sam's Club, everywhere else. And on Amazon, I get points. And I get points every month that I can spend for free. And my wife has her own Amazon card too. And they're paid off totally every month. We used to go out to the movies all the time. Once we had kids, started taking kids to the movie, and the prices of the movie started going, it's like, nope, it's going to cost us more for us to go view that movie once than waiting 3 months. And when it comes out at Walmart on DVD, buying the DVD. We can watch as many times as we want.
For me to resolve that issue, I went out and bought me a projector screen that's out in my living room. And I do that. I'll go buy the movie. I'll download a movie to watch. I got my own personal theater. I can fart whenever I want.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that surprised me that my wife did, since I have Amazon Prime, because we figured out, since they had Amazon Prime, talking about the savings on shipping, the stuff we were getting, everything we got was on free shipping, and we figured out how much we were saving per month. It's like she went and got the Amazon Fire Stick. Mm-hmm. And so she, on the big TV in the living room, plugged into there, and she watches a lot of, instead of watching it on the laptop or whatever, she watches it on that. And we can also, if we need to, we can put it on the projector and throw it up on the 10-foot diameter, 10-foot wide screen, if pull down screen if we need to. But we've cut a lot of stuff out. We cut out going to the movies. We cut out going to out to dinner except for special occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, special events. The only time we go out to dinner. And, you know, you go into some place like Chili's and you're spending, $75 for 4 people to eat at Chili's. It's like, okay, that's your birthday present just about. And so, yeah, we cut a lot of stuff out. And so that, the money we're saving that we're saving, not doing this other stuff, she puts into the garden. She puts into the housing bill stuff. Everything else other than this house here, the house across the street, is paid for. It was totally paid for. She did pull out what's called a HELOC loan on the California house to re-roof it, and we got the next level up on the roofing, so it has a 50-year warranty on that roof. Which when we go to sell it, it's a transferable warranty.
And that's a big selling point right there.
Oh, that's a very big selling point. Not going there, bug dude. Let's see. and Roku or Fire Stick, there's a lot of free things to watch. Up here, we have no cable TV. We have internet only. I have my Amazon Prime. If I want to watch a movie, I go to Amazon Prime. Let me go ahead, pull that over there. Movies I got highlighted. Highlander. I like Highlander. I'm going to watch it again for free. Kick butt. Oh, it's leaving in the month, but I already watched it. Funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Absolutely hilarious. How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. There's a lot of movies here that I know stuff goes off. And some of the movies you can watch for free with ads.
Yeah. I'm actually in the process of watching Outlander.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, you guys can see some of my taste. All right. I'm going to tell you, Big Brother with Donnie Yen is good. It's not what you think. Yeah, there's some kung fu fighting and stuff in it, but it's a story about the kids that are, oh, you're dumb, you're stupid kids, you're not going to go anywhere. And he comes on as the teacher, gets that class to help those kids see their potential. It's a real cool movie. Big Brother, Donnie Yen.
Yes, creative. There are lots of streaming sites out there. There's also some gray area Russian sites that you could, and then the completely illegal sites. So there's lots of ways to keep entertained.
Okay, Carol. Night. All right, now this here's just the movies. If I go to TV shows, there's a bunch of TV shows I can watch. Wheel of Time is up. Invincible's funny. I'm watching Grimm again. Suits is one of my favorite ones. My wife has some up here as well.
The one thing I like about Amazon Prime Video is it's the only place I can find all the Star Trek series.
Yeah. And, so there's a lot of good stuff, and it's included with my Prime. And we got the Prime for the free shipping. And so that's one of the things. It's all right. So, and the Fire Stick taps into my Prime list. So that's one way we save a lot of money, and we're actually watching, movies and stuff more often and stuff. The old Bruce Lee movies. Yeah, they're good. The imitation Bruce Lee movies that came out after he died, those are the ones that are hilarious. And then of course there is the ones like I can't think of his name now. Kung Fu Hustle.
If you like popcorn while watching movies, stop buying Orville Redenbacher or Pop Quick or microwave. You can go spend $30 at a concession supply, and every major city has one, a concession supply store. You can go get yourself 50 pounds of the popcorn, the big, not the butterfly wing popcorn, but the big round ball popcorn for $30. You got enough popcorn there to at least for 6 months minimum.
Yeah, I mean, even Sam's, Costco sell the 25 and 50-pound bags of popcorn. You just got to have an air popper to pop it in. Hey, Idaho Garden Girl, how's it going?
I like what is that? Kettle corn. Yeah. And I learned how to make kettle corn myself on the stovetop.
Yeah. One of the other things, and what we're talking about now of the movies and stuff, that's mental morale. It can lift everybody at home's morale when they actually have stuff to watch during a disaster. Power goes out and you got either a solar powered power station or you got a generator and you can still watch a movie. Oh, that makes everybody feel so much better.
Even a good book. I mean, and I know in today's society, we've gotten away from that. But seriously, for those that have kids, reading a story, with the family together, I mean, just think of the memories you're going to create with just reading a book. There you go.
Yep. And if the power's out and you got a fireplace or a wood burning stove and you get one of those, you can still buy the kettle pans with the long handle. You can put in the fire and you just keep shaking it around. Kids love to go there. Oh, when's it going to pop? When's it going to pop? And they sit there and shake it just like the Jiffy Pop one with the long handle so you can actually get in the fire and do stuff on it. Hey, that's entertainment right there watching the kids. Is it going to pop? The kids are getting so excited the first pop. Hey, it's funny.
I use my fireplace and I do s'mores.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it on the if you have a natural gas or propane stove. Yeah, you got that too. Oh, shoot. Okay. And of course, with the Jiffy Pop, if you take your Jiffy Pop unpopped and stuff, you put a screw in the wall up above the door frame, hanging up there. That's your redneck smoke detector. When it starts popping, you got to fire somewhere in the house.
At that point, I think it's a little bit too hot for me to handle it.
Yeah, that's the time you crawl out of the house. All right. I think we covered a lot of stuff here. Share stuff out with friends that are thinking about their newbies, learning how to prep. If they go to a YouTube channel and they say you have to get this, go away from that YouTube channel. Any channel is saying you have to do this, no. Or you have to buy my stuff, go over to my Patreon page, no. They're in it for your money. GrayManPrepping here is not monetized yet. I don't have a Patreon channel. I'm not telling you have to buy anything. I'm giving you options. You know best, like Bruce at Backwoods Law, you know best your situation, your part of the country. What works good for me here in Idaho doesn't work quite so good in California. Doesn't work quite so good over in Florida. We get different things here. The growing seasons are a little bit different. So that's, the things to think about as far as, what works for you. What do you eat? And the major thing to remember when it comes to food storage, store what you eat what you store. I don't care how good of a price it is on whatever it is, if you don't eat snickerdoodle with raspberry poop jam on it, why buy it? Quit buying it.
But always learn something. If you have not pressure canned and it's something that you think you might want to dabble in it, try it. Don't be afraid of the pressure canner, people.
Yeah.
I'm more afraid of water bath canning than I am pressure canning. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. All these, I'm sorry, I'm going to pick on a brand of light out here. everyone's like, Olight, it's so great. It can throw a beam 4,000 yards away and do all crap. Harbor Freight, I get these free on the coupon when I'm buying tarps or something else. All I have to do is buy anything in the store with the coupon. I get one of these for free. I got a bunch of these. It's got a magnet on the back. It takes 3 AAA batteries inside. It's 3 screws, take it out, the back comes off, replace the batteries. It hangs on my shirt so I can have hands free as I walk around. It shines in front, or I can have it shine down below me. Or you can just go out and buy them right now. They you can buy these for $1 with a coupon. You get 5 at a time.
How many of you guys have like 4 or 5 cell phones that are used but not even in service? There's a flashlight, and I always have this thing with me.
Yeah.
I don't buy $100. No, I won't even buy a 99-cent flashlight.
Yeah. But like these, what I like about these ones here, when I get them for free, I have a couple sitting stuck with the magnet on the refrigerator. Where the breaker box is, I got 2 above the breaker box. I've got, one next to my bed on my side, one next to the bed on my wife's side. I got 1 in each bathroom.
That's one thing I do love about Harbor Freight is they do have a lot of good freebies with their coupons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll pick up. If it's free, I'll definitely pick it up. I'm frugal. I'm cheap that way.
I mean, it's like, all right. So this, for a while I was getting the knives at Harbor Freight. I still get a bunch of them here. Every now and then, my son gave me the one from Home Depot, the Husky one. But the one I like about the Harbor Freight one, it has the button on the side. I just push the button, to open and close and everything, and it locks. And you can lock it part way.
See, I can't lock it part way. I've got super glue hot glue in this, so
yeah. But the Harbor Freight one, when it opens up, it locks there. Besides locking all the way up, and it's, they're great. Yeah. So that's the Harbor Freight. I do not own stock in Harbor Freight. Yeah. When I was teaching the CERT program, I had several things on. I had a slide of stuff. All right, guys, you want to get stuff on the inexpensive, that's going to work for your CERT pack and everything else. That CERT is the Community Emergency Response Team. I had a slide of stuff for them to go to Harbor Freight to get. I said, I do not get any kickback from Harbor Freight. It's just this will get you going inexpensively for your CERT bag.
Sudden Days is a great site to watch. I do watch her a lot.
Yeah. Mouse Toes is great too. When Tasha at Prep for It, the Prep number 4 IT, gets all feeling better and stuff, when she does her live stream, Mouse Toes is on her live stream with her. But yeah, Mouse Toes is great. Just don't say, I'm going to come down and get some stuff from you.
What Christy has had to say about pressure canning. I stood across the kitchen first time I pressure canned.
Yeah. Christy, all right. One thing you got to remember about pressure canner, so long as it has the jiggler, the bobbler, whatever you want to call it, that that you can take off and put back on. The pressure canner if it builds up too much, it's just going to blow that sucker off. And then there's a black rubber dot in there. That's an overpressure relief valve. It'll blow that out too, before it can explode. So that's what pressure canning that way. I'm not worried about the pressure canner going boom. Hey, Star Salazar, how you doing?
The very first thing I pressure canned, and I've seen other people do it, I pressure canned water. I was happy to burn through, a 29-cent lid, so maybe $2 in lids just to pressure can water. So I learned my pressure canner.
Yeah. What's good about pressure canning water, especially pressure canning distilled water, it's sterile now. You can use it for medical purposes. For
See, I didn't even think about that. I just did it because I wanted to learn how to pressure can. Yeah. And that was the cheapest way to learn.
All right, CR, take care. One of the things, several, Mouse Toes has said this. I froze again. Tasha Prep for it. Several others do pressure canning. If you're pressure canning and you don't have the rack all the way full, fill a jar of water, put it in there, and save it for medical use. That way you're not having to can it separately. You have a full rack in there then, and everything's working good.
That is actually, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
See, you do learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I have a digital pressure canner, Lewis, and I do not like it. I'm actually going to be placing it up on OfferUp or something. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been. I forgot to check for this. Dang, I try to go in every couple of days and check one of my wish lists very particularly. And let's see here, and that is the canning list. And okay, the image is not available on that one. Okay, all right. Here, let me bring this back up here. This is my canning wish list on Amazon. The funnels. I've got a couple of these already for myself and my daughter. They're great. Denali canning lids. I got them up. Price drop 4%. The complete canning guide. I think this is the ball one here. But I was checking here. Okay. The American Canner, this one's come down a little bit. It's not as low as when I put it on here.
That's still way outside my budget.
Yeah. When I put this one here on here, it was at $283, I think it was, for the 41 quart one. These are both 41 quarts, just from offered by different people, and they fluctuate in price. So if there's something you want, find out from several different people. Put them in your wish list and watch the price fluctuate on them. And if one of the price drops, that's when I buy.
Although All American is a great, awesome brand,
yeah,
you can't do any better. I have just a El Cheapo. It was $109, $110. It's a Barton. I mean, it's a brand name, but it's a lower brand. But I love it. One day I'll have an All American, the big 41.5 quart thing. Yeah. But for now, I just wanted to start cheap, and I found Barton. They are a brand name. They're on the low end of the scale, and it was cheap.
Yeah, the reason I want this one is my mom left me a whole bunch of half-gallon jars. So I have half-gallon jars, all the lids and stuff for them. I want to be able to pressure can half-gallon jars. And so that's what I want. I want to get this one here. But, there's a lot of, if you can find an All-American at an estate sale, I bet you're going to be paying a tenth of what they're selling it for here, unless the people know what the price of it is going for. But then they'll probably keep it themselves. Neat little things here I put up here.
Yeah.
This is a mini bag sealer, rechargeable for like your Mylar bags.
Yeah. Those are great for if you're repackaging as well.
Yes.
And when you're buying bulk and repackage.
And like the cereal bags, you open up the cereal bag and you take some stuff out, you can reseal it with this. So, there's, chip bags, your potato chips, you can reseal them and stuff. So there's a lot of different ways you can do things you can do it for sealing. It's one of those things that my wife hasn't given me the green light to buy it. She says when it drops below $10, I can go ahead and buy it without asking her. Hey, she's an accountant. She manages the money. And I'll let her. She's got her master's in that. All right, so I'll let her do all that stuff. It's like,
Lewis, that's what I have, the Presto.
Yeah, I got a Presto here as well.
The digital one, or?
No, I got my mom's old one.
So I have the Presto digital, and I don't like that thing.
Yeah.
I do not. I screwed up a very large, let's see, 2, 3, 4, so 5 cases of pint jars of vegetables.
Iron. People use the flat iron for doing that as well. Take the curls out.
Flat irons are great for Mylar.
Yeah. All right, PT. I get it. Why are cereal bags not Ziploc? I don't know. I mean, the tortillas you get are Ziplocked. You get to buy a thing, it comes in, you tear off the little thing, and then it's Ziploc, open and close. Why can't they do that with cereal? You're trying to open a cereal bag, and then
that way you have to go buy another box.
Yeah, I know. Hey,
they know what they're doing.
Hey, I'm going to date myself here. Everyone's going to love this. I remember when we used to get the Sugar Smacks or Honey Smacks in the box, and it was a foil bag in there. The paper and foil bag you could open, and so it was. Oh, I love those. Easy to open up, easy to reseal and keep it fresh. And then they went to the stupid plastic.
That's highfalutin for me. I mean, Honey Smacks, that's high dollar item. I'm more used to marshmallow mateys.
Yeah. But yeah, this is, I remember getting the little small boxes of cereal. It would perforate it on the side. You open it up and it opens up like that. And you can pour milk in it while you're in the car on a trip. Yeah. And you can eat it, yeah.
But remember, they used to make hammocks for babies that you could put in a car while you're driving.
Yeah. Take out the oxygen and put it back in, what we breathe out back in. All right. Yeah, we've done an hour and 45 minutes here. Yeah, Mary Beth, I was born in 1957. My mom had bought that year before I was born a 57 Chevy Bel Air.
That is a boat.
Yeah. It was a two-door with the seats that folded forward, and she stuffed the kids in the back, and her and my dad be in the front.
They were nice cars, though.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap it up here. Let me grab the coming attractions coming up here. All righty, so Thursday on GrayManPrepping, it's Thursday's scenario-based event. We talk about the pipe dreams of some of these fear-mongering channels that say, "Oh, this is what's going to happen, and I'm prepared for it, and you're not." Well, all right, so I like poking the bubble and popping it afterwards. We're going to talk about their version and what science says is going to happen. So Thursday, the topic is after the first year of a mini ice age. What's your plans now? So
dino hunting.
So that's the for on Thursday the 3rd. That's what the topic is. On Friday the 4th, on Camp Patton Family Compound is my homesteading channel. For those of you who don't know, is indoor greenhouses. Are they worth it? And hopefully by then I will have some stuff set up in here with my grow lights and everything else, and I'll be able to show you some of my indoor greenhouse as well. If not, I'll show you some of the one from last year and the one when I did the down in Sarah's basement one over across the street. Next week.
Wow, you're really planned out, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm taking a year vacation. Nah. Next week here on Tactical Tuesday, we're going to talk about medications. We talked a bunch about it today, and I'm not sure it's kind of late for Doc Bones and Nurse Amy. I'll drop a line out to see if they want to come in or not.
Gil's going to take the year off, so I'm going to host Tactical Tuesday. So it's going to be Tactical Tuesday with Quilpocalypse.
And so the medications next Tuesday. We're talking about medications next Tuesday, and I'll have the books up here, so I'll be able to show you the books and stuff that I have on it. I'll show you some of the books my wife wants to get and about herbal medications. So we're going to talk about herbal medications, and I'm going to try to get one of these herbalists out here if they're willing to come on my lowly 600 membership channel or 600 subscriber channel to talk about it. So that's what's coming up. So any final words, Ray, for them?
Let's see. You have another live coming up this week, so I'll discuss that with you backstage. But start somewhere. Start with at least a 7-day. Move into a 30-day. Mm-hmm. Then go your quarterly, your 3 months. By that time, you should be able to be comfortable with learning new things, such as doing your own canning, repacking, bulk items. You got to start somewhere.
I forgot the one thing. For those that can, even Kaylin in her apartment did it last year. Plant some food. Grow something.
Yeah, I got my hydroponic system out in the the truck that I need to bring in to set by the quail.
Yeah. I mean, raising an apartment. He's raising quail in his dining room. All righty. So everyone, remember, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Yeah, there's this quail. The quail cam is on. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep on adding to your preps. Food, water, medicine, clothing, and skills. Add more skills to what you know all the time. All right? And with that,